In this video, we're going to use the chain rule to find the first partials. So we're given z is equal to square root of x e to the xy, and then x and y are both functions of two variables. X is 1 plus st, y is s squared minus t squared, and we're being able to find the partials of z with respect to s and with respect to t. So again, using our chain rule formula, we find the partial with respect to s for z will be partial with respect to x times the partial of x with respect to s, plus the partial with respect to y times the partial of y with respect to s. Looking at our z function, we notice that with respect to x, we have to use a product rule because we have two functions of x. Derivative of the first will be a 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, and then times the second. Plus, we have the first, which is square root of x, times the derivative of the second. Derivative of e to a power is e to that power, times the derivative of the power. We're doing that with respect to x, so we get a y. So that's where the y root x e to the xy is coming from. We now need to take the partial of x with respect to s and multiply that times what we just found. Well, we look at x with respect to s, the derivative is just a t. For the second part, we now need to take the derivative of z with respect to y. Notice I don't have to use a product rule here because I only have one function of y. Derivative, again, of e to a power is e to that power, times the derivative of the power. In this case, the derivative of the power with respect to y is just an x. So we get x root x e to the xy. We need to multiply the derivative of y with respect to s. Derivative with respect to s is just 2s. So there's our derivative with respect to s, and we can factor out a root x e to the xy, and do let's got a little bit more simplifying there, and get a 1 plus 2xy times a t, all over 2x, plus 2sx. Do the exact same thing, but now with respect to t. Notice that your partial with respect to x and your partial with respect to y didn't change. The only thing that's going to change is when we're doing our partials with respect to t now. For x, the partial with respect to t is s. For y, the partial with respect to t is negative 2t. And so there's our partial with respect to t, and there's our final answer if we decide to make it a little bit cleaner.